We do not think of the lifestyle of teenagers in other countries. Practically everything is different, from the food they eat to the lifestyle they have. Even religion is sometimes different. 20th century Italy is so different compared to 21st century United States. As stated by Oracle ThinkQuest, Italians are attached to their towns, homes, neighborhoods, and their families. Americans can agree that most are attached to their families and usually their towns. We all get homesick every now and then. No matter how excited we are to move away from our families, we will always miss our childhood memories. Eleanor Visconti was born in Francavilla sul Sini, which is a southern town in Italy, and it is a very small town and everyone knows each other. Eleonora moved to the United States at 19 years old. When I was interviewing her, I realized that she loved her childhood and misses her family. She is the 6th out of 7 children. In America today, families are starting to become smaller and not everyone knows each other around town anymore. Eleonora said she lived a very simple life, and the way the people dressed in Italy now or then is very different from how they dress now. And she said that they had really small, cute cars not compared to America. She had an old school family, and where she had to be in by 6 o'clock during the winter. She was not allowed to visit her sisters once they had moved out of the house. Her parents just wouldn't let her. She never had a sleepover, and as children they made their own toys, they played volleyball, and would play outside a lot. She said she never had anything like a Barbie. As kids, they used to pretend the olive trees around the town were houses. In today's society, we tend to take things for granted. During Eleonora's childhood, the children were appreciative and worked very hard. In Italy, women were expected to do all the housework. Eleonora had to clean every day. She cleaned her bedroom and her bathroom, and then whatever else her mother told her to clean. She said now in small towns in Italy, the couples now share the work. As stated in Women in 20th Century by Perry Wilson, women tended to fight more for their rights between 1960 and 1980. The women were expected to have a hot meal on the table at least once a day. She told me of this tradition where in April they would buy a pig and then raise the pig until about January or February, and then the men would kill it and they would have a feast for 3 days. She also told me that she didn't have a close relationship with her mother like girls in America do today. Because Eleonora did not have a close relationship with her mother, she decided to rebel and move to the United States. Her cousin from Bayonne, New Jersey, came to visit in Italy, and he was joking around and asked her to move along. She decided to say yes and was really surprised when her parents agreed to let her go. She packed up her little belongings and moved within 15 days. Before she had moved to the United States, she never would have wanted to. She said she hated it because she likes history, and she said that the United States doesn't have as much history as Europe does. She had no fear of moving because it was such short notice. She said she didn't have time to think about it, but on the flight, she was nervous because that was her first flight and she didn't know any English. She went to visit New York City the second day she came to the United States and was very overwhelmed on how big it was. Her first friend in the United States was her ex-husband, and he was the father to her daughter, Selena. When they were married, they went to Italy every year to visit, but now she goes every other year. Eleonora told me she misses her family very much. When she first moved here, she made a phone call to her family once a month because it was so expensive, and the way she communicated with her sisters was by writing letters. Now, since she has Skype and Vonage, she uses Vonage to talk on the phone, and she talks to about 5 or 6 different family members every Saturday. No matter the distance, communicating with your family will always make a difference. Many college students and young adults feel the pain when they move away from their family for the first time. It is especially hard when you move to a different country, where you do not know the language and have very little of your belongings to bring along. Luckily, in today's society, we have internet and different electronic devices in order to communicate. As women, we are lucky to have men help us when we get married. In Italy, the women tend to be the housekeeper. However, in the United States, it is usually both. Although nowadays children tend to play video games or play with dolls inside, we will always remember our childhood and the friends we made. Talking with Eleonora made me realize to appreciate what I have and always make memories regardless if it is something just simple.